At dawn, a female leopard rests above the grassland with her 7-week-old cub. Leopards are solitary, and a mother raises her young without help. The cub is still weak and uncertain on the branches, but hunger eventually forces the mother to descend, leaving the youngster behind while she searches for food. Moving through the grass, the mother follows the trail of a common duiker. Stealth brings her close before the quiet hunt becomes a sudden chase. The hunt succeeds, providing the food she needs. With her task complete, she begins the journey back to the cub waiting in the acacia. Back in the tree, the cub waits alone and struggles to balance. Then 5 Chacma baboons arrive. Baboons live in organized social troops, where many watchful eyes share warnings. When they detect a leopard, they may gather and confront the threat together. The troop discovers the vulnerable cub, and its leader follows the youngster into the branches. With little strength and almost no climbing experience, the cub has very few places left to escape. The mother is returning when baboon alarm calls break across the grassland. She understands their meaning at once. The prey is abandoned, and the solitary hunter races back toward the acacia as a mother. When she arrives, the cub is trapped above a troop that has gathered around the tree. Reaching her young becomes her only purpose. Beneath the tree, the baboons rely on numbers and the confidence of their leader. The leopard relies on speed, balance, and determination. Surrounded on the ground, she refuses to be drawn away from the trunk. This is no longer a hunt. It is a contest between the strength of a group and the protective instinct of a mother. At last, a narrow route upward begins to open. The confrontation moves into the canopy, where the leopard's climbing ability becomes vital. The mother advances through the branches while the baboons continue to pressure her from different directions. The tiny cub is running out of strength, but its mother finally reaches it. She brings the youngster back to secure footing and places herself between the cub and the surrounding troop. The rescue is only half complete. They must still escape the tree. Once the cub is secure, the rescue becomes an escape. The mother carries it down the far side of the tree, but the troop quickly follows them into the open. Carrying such a vulnerable youngster limits her choices. Every change of direction is now about creating distance, protecting the cub, and reaching safer ground before the baboons can surround them again. The mother reaches a rocky refuge and places the cub behind solid cover. At the narrow entrance, the troop can no longer use its numbers so easily. The leopard holds the only approach, while the baboons continue to test her defense. With every failed attempt, the risk becomes greater and their confidence begins to fade. Finally, the leader gives ground. The other 4 follow, and the troop withdraws from the rocks. The mother returns to her cub and carries it onto the sheltered ledge. For one more day, courage and maternal instinct have kept this fragile young life safe.